Okay, so I wanna circle us back to that quote I said to me is the theme of this work. But remember, this podcast is called Always Hope. So here's the hope connected to the reality. We must always live our reality. That's where freedom lies. But in Genesis 3, again, it does say, your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. So this is why my image the whole time I've been writing has been of Margaret Sanger and John Paul II drinking coffee. What I mean is that I was sitting there reading, and all I wanted to do reading Margaret Sanger was say, but this is why you're wrong, but this is why you're wrong, but this is where you go off. And I really felt, not because I'm holy or special or anything, it's just the image in my mind was John Paul II was annoying me because he wasn't saying anything. I was like, what are you doing? You got to say something, because I don't know what to say. You know a lot more than I do. And how am I supposed to tell her that she's wrong? And I feel like it was just a very clear lesson in true dialogue requires, forgive my being so frank, that you shut up and listen.
Wow.
Y'all, we have to listen. Because if you were listening to me, preparing for how you were going to tell me that I'm wrong, and you're going to put me back in my place, or you're going to like take my argument and prove all my points in some like really heady way, you have failed in the first call, which is your vocation to love. I don't have to be Margaret Sanger's best friend, but what John Paul II had the capacity to do, and this is the thing, is that they didn't have the opportunity. Their timelines didn't match up in there that way. But what I see is that his entire life's work is a response to Margaret Sanger's life work, not because he agrees with every point, but I just feel that he could sit at the table with her, even when she was spewing some venom, some real like harsh points and attacking. And he could look at her and say, Margaret, there's certain things he would say, Margaret, you're right. He would say, Margaret, women do have to carry the burden of responsibility when it comes to pregnancy and motherhood. Margaret, you're right. Women should, with their husbands, have to consider the size of their family. That is an important thing. Margaret, you're right that women have suffered at the hands of men, and that perhaps at different times, like, men have taken advantage of women. Men have skewed their call to use their strength in a way that serves, that their call is to give self-gift in such a way that it invites woman to submit herself to him. And he would say, Margaret, I in fact, I understand and see why as a woman, you would want to take that pain and that anger, which is just in some experiences, and let it fester into bitterness, where then you say, I don't need you. I will do this by myself because I can't trust you to be responsible for me. And that is where John Paul II would throw the bridge. He would say, Margaret, I hear you. I understand you. And I do think this is a problem. I do think that women need a space, even within the church, to talk about the fact that their lives are good. Their femininity is good. And yes, it involves motherhood. But if they are boxed into motherhood in such a way that I act as if they don't have any creative gifts for the world at large, as if their lay vocation is only that one thing, then I am denying the power of God or the gift that he has instilled in woman. And that is not what God has called us to do. And then from there, he would say, but Margaret, can I speak now? Can I tell you what I think? And he would say, Margaret, I do think freedom is extremely important, but here's the two main points he would make. Number one, as a human person, we are free. It is within us. He would say, Margaret, the reality is that what you want is a good thing. You want freedom for women, but you're looking outside of women. You're looking at science to give to you externally, to take and ingest a pill that then I am free. When in fact, he would argue, freedom though, is something within you. And in fact, Margaret, you're settling because you're not going through it to the end goal. The end goal, he says, is, Margaret, it's not freedom. The end goal is that freedom exists for the sake of something very important, the human vocation. Freedom exists for the sake of